So, if your audience are opening your emails, you're seeing the 20 to 40 to 60% open rate. They are clicking your links, they are watching your stories, they are watching your live streams, they are consuming all your content. You are seeing the save that people are saving the content, but you are still not booking sales calls. The problem is probably not visibility. The problem is probably also not that you don't have enough leads. And it's also not that maybe your offer is bad. It is usually that your current audience right now is interested in your offer and what you're talking about, but they are not emotionally convicted that now is the moment to move. Write that down. It's usually that your audience is not it's interested to actually work with you, but they are not emotionally convicted and in a stage that right now is the moment to move for them and to actually take the action. So in this episode, I want to talk to you about that I think so many women of color coaches and industry experts are quietly experiencing right now, especially in 2026. People don't impulse buy anymore. Maybe that happened around COVID time, post COVID, but that's the industry shifted, the market is shifted, and no one is making impulsive buying decision. And it's frustrating because on paper, everything looks like it should be working. Everything looks perfect, right? People are watching your stories, people are opening your emails, they are clicking the link, they are even engaging with your content, they are engaging in your Facebook group. And you are even receiving DM conversations from people like, I needed this. What is your take on this? You are so inspiring. Your content is great. But then when it comes to actually inviting them to get on a call, no one is actually booking a call. They are ghosting you. And that disconnect can start messing around with your confidence around sales, and your confidence around messaging. Because now you are thinking, am I doing something wrong? Is my offer bad? Maybe I need to change my offer. Maybe my offer is too high priced. Maybe I need to actually include a membership as the middle offer, right? You are starting to think, should I lower my prices? Should I actually create a new offer? Do I need more followers? Should I go viral? And what I want you to hear is that attention does not automatically equal decision. That's why just because you are going viral and now getting more people in your audience does not mean that they are deciding they want to move with you. Just because someone is consuming your content does not mean that they emotionally feel safe and have this urgency or feel convicted enough to move forward to take action, which is being in your coaching container, getting the process, and getting the result they are after. And this is where I see a lot of women of color coaches and experts, they are staying stuck in that stage. That is why you are making money, maybe 3K month, 5K month, then you're at zero again. Then you are having a 8K month, then you are at 3K month again. And it is frustrating because many of you were taught to over educate, to over prove, to over explain and over deliver. You still have this good girl syndrome from your childhood, from being a woman of color. So now our content becomes very informative, but it is not helping someone to make a decision. That means your audience learns from you. They love your content. They are saving your content for the future, but they don't feel compelled enough to take action. They don't feel that uncomfortable feeling that if they are not taking actions right now, that they are continuing staying stuck, right? And this is the huge difference between content that is very helpful and content where your ideal customer are thinking, I need to work with this person specifically to solve my problems. And that shift changes everything. And when you make that shift, you will go away from posting 3 times a day. You will go away from questioning your messaging and changing and pivoting that for the 100th time this year. You will shift away from feeling like your sales feels icky. Selling should not feel icky. It is feeling icky for you right now because you don't know how to pre-sell with your content right now. And people book sales calls because three things are happening. Number one, they feel deeply seen by you, specifically seen. I don't mean like very generic, I mean specifically seen by you, meaning that your content speaks directly to their current frustration, why they are feeling exhausted, why they are actually not seeing the results, why they have tried so many different strategy, and why that process didn't work. And they also need to actually have like this emotional cost of staying stuck, not just actually reading generic tips. Those are all the other content creators that are already giving them generic tips. But if they want to work with you, and if you're a woman of color coach, industry expert, and you are charging high ticket, why should they pay you high ticket if that generic tips they can actually get for free on ChatGPT or from another influencer? Right? So you have to go away from giving generic tips. You have to go away from that in 2026. Otherwise, again, you will feel resentful when it comes to your business and content creation. That's why you post for a week and you ghost, because you still have this resentment feeling, that shame feeling, where you feel like, okay, I'm giving so much with my content, but no one is actually wanting to move forward with me. So why should I do it? That is actually running your program right now, your subconscious program. Number two is that they will book a call with you today in the next 24/7 when they start to believe that your process can actually get them to their result. And that goes back to number one. You have to be very specific who you are talking to, what problem you are solving, and what the one promises you are making. If that is too vague and that is not specific, and you are having so many different promises, so many different problems you're solving, you are just a generic coach. And no one in 2026 wants to work with a generic coach. So they have to believe that your process is different. They have to believe that your process is fast, and they have to believe that your process is different than what they have tried before. So you have to talk enough about the process. How do they get there? What is the lean process you are helping them to get there? So that your audience has to understand why your method works differently, and why staying stuck where they are is keeping them stuck and will actually get them more problems 3 months from now, 1 week from now. And they have to understand why the way they have been approaching to solve the problem is no longer sustainable. Everyone wants to have an easy life, a simple life. They want less problems, right? They have so many problems, but still they are always thinking, how can I solve this problem? How can you get there and help them to see that you have the best solution for them? That you have a process that is simple to implement, that is getting fast result, and that is sustainable for them, right? And the next reason why they will book a call with you is they need to feel urgency. They need to feel urgency. So I'm not talking about fake urgency like, hey, I only have 2 spots, even though you have 10 spots left in your program. That is fake urgency. I'm not talking about manipulation where you are scaring people to take actions. Okay, you are using like manipulation tactics to let people, or to call out people and to book a call with you. That is not what I am talking about. That is also not ethical. So if you are doing this right now, please click out this video if you are not willing to change that. Otherwise, keep on watching it, because you have to change that today. What I am talking about is genuine emotional urgency. Means they have to start realizing, if I stay stuck in the same cycle for another 6 months, something has to change. Okay, what do they need to change? Okay, so many brilliant women of color coaches create content that comforts people instead of confronting the real cost of staying where they are. But actually, that is what you need to tell people, because a lot of time your people, they don't know what other costs or what other problems are building up because they are not solving the problem right now. So, if you are not confronting them with the real cause of staying where they are and being in their comfort zone, that's why your audience keeps consuming your content. They know they have to solve this problem, but they are not deciding right now to move forward with you. Because consuming your content feels productive, it feels like busy, but in order for them to have a transformation, it requires a decision. Are you helping with your content to make a decision right now? And I really want women of color coaches to hear this. Like, you don't need to become louder. You don't have to scream. You don't have to be more aggressive. You don't have to be more pushy to sell. But you do need to stop hiding behind educational content. You do need to stop hiding behind someone else's voice. Instead, elevating and amplifying your voice, because your audience, they do not need information, they need your leadership. They need someone who can articulate the problem, the perceived problem. They need someone who can tell them why they are stuck. They need them why these problems keep looping, and they need to hear from you what becomes possible when they finally decide differently. And this is what you are creating movement with your audience. It's not just random tips and giving more tips and going viral because you are giving generic tips. When it comes to selling a high ticket group coaching offer, it's about working with less people but having a higher impact, right? So stop giving random tips, stop giving tips that everyone can Google and find on another influencer's post. If you have been in this space where people are watching, okay, your audience, they are engaging, they're opening your emails, they are clicking, but they're not booking a call, I want you to ask yourself, does my content simply educate people, or is it helping them to make a decision? Because those two are different things. The one is educational, it is keep growing your audience. The other one is all about conversion. How can you increase the conversion through your content? And the coaches who are scaling with a group offer right now, they are not just teaching, they're literally helping people to emotionally connect between where they are, what is costing them to stay where they are, and who they are becoming when they finally get the support, when they finally implement their process. That is the shift. So if you want help with refining your messaging and launch a scalable group coaching offer that actually converts attention, what you already have right now, into clients, DM me the word clients, and we can talk about what is keeping your clients right now stuck in this consumption cycle and what you need to actually change in order for them to become clients in your offer. Again, you already have done 50% of the work until now, which is getting the attention. You have people in your audience right now. Now you need the skill to convert that intention into paying customers. Thank you so much for joining, and I see you in the next episode.